strategies for enhancement in food production. In the previous lecture, we have discussed why there is a need to enhance the food production. We have to apply the principles of biology in animal husbandry and plant breeding techniques to improve the food production. We have also started with animal husbandry and we have discussed with dairy farm management and the poultry farm management. Now today we have to discuss the most important topic that is usually going to ask, and that is called as animal breeding. So student, today we are going to start with animal breeding. What is an animal breeding process and why we are performing this animal breeding process? Animal breeding, that means it's a part of an animal husbandry. And why we are performing this animal breeding? The purpose of this animal breeding is, there are two purposes of animal breeding. The first purpose of animal breeding, that to increases yield, and the second one is to improve the quality of product. These are the two purposes why we are doing animal breeding. Clear? So what is an animal breeding? Animal breeding, that means a mating between two different superior animals. This is called as an animal breeding. And we are performing this animal breeding to increases the yield and to improve the quality of a product. These are the main two purposes why we are performing this animal breeding. Okay? This animal breeding can be categorized into, the animal breeding is mainly categorized into two types. Okay? The first one is inbreeding and the second one is called as outbreeding. Okay? If you want to understand the basic generalized meaning of inbreeding, in means it is the breeding between the same breed. Okay, this is called as an inbreed. And the outbreeding, it is a breeding between the two different breeds. This is called as an outbreeding. This is the common generalized meaning. Later on, we will discuss what is the specific meaning of this inbreeding and the outbreeding. But we will see what is the inbreeding, the breeding between the two same breed. This is called as an inbreeding. And the outbreeding, that means a breeding between the two different ones. This is called as an outbreeding. Okay. Here, inbreeding or the outbreeding, the purpose of this inbreeding and the outbreeding is to improve the yield and to improve the quality of the product. But here, in both the terms, the main important word is a breed. First of all, you should understand what is a breed. So, what is a breed? A breed, that means it's a group of animals. It's a group of animals. Okay, that have or which have common descent or they are related descent and they have common features. Okay, features in terms of size, shape, etc. This is considered as a breed. So what is considered as a breed? The breed, that means it's a group of animals that have a related descent and the common features in terms of size, shape, etc. or the functions. This is considered as a breed. If the mating occurs between the breed, means between the group of such animals, then it is called as an inbreeding. If the mating occurs outside that, then it is called as an outbreeding. Clear? This is very important topic. Listen student. You have to learn this animal breeding, inbreeding and the outbreeding. So now we are going to start with a specific one. That's now we are going to start with an inbreeding technique. Okay. So now we are going to start. Just look, have a look over it. Okay. Write it down and then we are going to start inbreeding and the outbreeding. Now, hope you student understood what is an inbreeding and the outbreeding. Now we are going to start with a specific meaning of inbreeding and how we can perform it, or what are the purpose of performing this inbreeding. So let's start. What is an inbreeding? What is an inbreeding? It's a breeding between, see, it's a breeding, or you can say a mating, okay, breeding between related breed for 4 to 6 generations. Means it wants to say that they have a common ancestor for 4 to 6 generation. Such type of a breeding is called as an inbreeding. It's called as an inbreeding. What is called as an inbreeding? It's a mating between the related breed. It's a mating between the related breed who has common ancestors for 4 to 6 generation. This is called as inbreeding method. Okay. Now we have to see how we can perform this inbreeding process. So how we will select one male. Okay, this is a one male, and then we are going to select another one is a female. This is a female that is going to be selected. Okay, both should be of same breed. Both should be of a same breed, or they have a common ancestor for 4 to 6 generations. This is the selection criteria in the inbreeding. Now the mating occurs between these two. Okay, the mating occurs between these two, and the resultant progeny is going to be produced. This is the progeny which is going to be produced. Okay, this progeny is going to be bred with the same type of the another one. Okay, of different sex. Suppose this is a male, then this is a female, and we are selecting from this. Again, these both gets made, and the resultant progeny or the offspring which is going to be produced by mating, this is a mating, okay, that is going to be selected for a further process. This is how we are going to perform inbreeding. Okay, so I again repeat how we can perform the inbreeding method. In an inbreeding method, one male is selected, another female is selected, a mating occurs in between them. Okay, they have a common ancestor for 4 to 6 generations. A resultant offspring or progeny is going to be produced, that is made with another progeny which is produced by the same way. Okay, now the selected progeny which is going to be produced, that is further going to be used for an inbreeding process. Thus we can perform, or this is a procedure how we can perform inbreeding. Okay, this is a procedure we can perform inbreeding. This inbreeding, there are certain advantages and there are also certain disadvantages of these methods. So now let's going to discuss what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages they are associated with it. First, when this method is going to be useful. So what are the advantages or what are the functions? This inbreeding procedure are mostly going to be used when you want to achieve the homozygous pure line. Okay. What is a pure line? That we will discuss in the chapter number 5 when we will start with the unit number 2. Pure line, that means they have a homozygous similar conditions. Okay, so this is a procedure which is going to be used for homozygous pure line condition. Like I will give you one example that is easy to understand, which might you have learned in the 10th standard, like capital T, capital T. This is, you might have learned the Mendel experiment. In the Mendel experiment, capital T, capital T. Okay, what it indicates? The capital T indicates for tallness characters, and both the capital T that indicates it's a homozygous. If it is one capital T, another small t, this is considered as a heterozygous. So here, when we want to achieve such kind of a condition, homozygous condition or homozygous pure line, then this type of inbreeding is preferable. Okay, so this is one method which is going to be useful. Now this another one is, it is also leads to an exposure. It leads to an exposure of that's harmful gene, and a selection, or it is responsible for selection of desirable gene. Whatever the gene, a desired homozygous gene, what you want, that can be achieved with this method, that is called as an inbreeding method. Okay, so these are the advantages of inbreeding method. But now, what is the disadvantage of this method? What is the disadvantage? The disadvantage of this method is such that when the inbreeding is continued for several times, when inbreeding is continuously done, then it may lead to a inbreeding depression. What it leads to? A inbreeding depression. In an inbreeding depression, the undesirable characters are also going to be transferred. So this is the disadvantage. The continuous inbreeding, I write over here, the continuous inbreeding, it leads to a inbreeding depression. And this inbreeding depressions is a problem. And how it can be done, or how it can be overcome? The inbreeding depression can be overcome just by crossing it with another one. This is how we can remove it. Okay, or just outcrossing that we will learn. What is an outcrossing? That outcrossing that remove. So that's all about inbreeding. I again repeat, what is an inbreeding? Inbreeding, that means a breeding or mating between the related breed who have a common ancestors for 4 to 6 generation. How you can achieve this? One male is selected, one female is selected of the same breed who which have a common ancestor for 4 to 6 generations. A progeny is going to be obtained, and that progeny which is going to be obtained, that from that the mating is occur, and the one progeny that is going to be selected, that is used for inbreeding or further inbreeding. These are the advantage. When you want to achieve a homozygous pure line, then this is a preferable method. It will also lead to exposure to harmful genes, and it is also responsible for selection of a desirable gene. But when the inbreeding is continued, then it may lead to inbreeding depression, and this inbreeding depression is harmful because the harmful gene can, or recessive gene can also be going to be carried out. That can be overcome by just one outcrossing. Okay, so this is called as inbreeding. Okay, now we move ahead with another type of animal breeding, and that is called as an outbreeding. How we can perform outbreeding? So now we are going to start with outbreeding. So what is outbreeding? The name itself suggests it's a breeding not between the same breed but the another one. So it's a breeding between same breed but not having common ancestor for 4 to 6 generation, or it's a breeding between two different breed, or it's a breeding between two related different species. These all are considered as an outbreeding. This is a definition of an outbreeding. What is a outbreeding? It is a breeding between either of these. Okay, it's a breeding between same breed not having a common ancestor for 4 to 6 generation, or it's a breeding between two different breed. Okay, or it is breeding between two related different species. This is called as an outbreeding. The first one, the breeding between the same breed having do not having a common ancestor for 4 to 6 generation. This type of outbreeding is called as outcrossing. What it is called as an outcrossing. Okay. Next, two different breed. It's a breeding between two different breed. Okay. This is called as cross breeding. What it is called as cross breeding. And it's a breeding between two related different species. Then this is called as interspecific hybridization. Okay, this is called as interspecific hybridization. Okay, so there are three types of outbreeding: outcrossing, crossbreeding, and interspecific hybridization. What is called as an outcrossing? Outcrossing means a breeding between a same breed but not having a common ancestor for 4 to 6 generation. What is crossbreeding? It's a breeding between two different breeds. This is called as a crossbreeding. And what is called as interspecific hybridization? It's a breeding between two related different species. This is called as interspecific hybridization. So these are the three types of outcrossing, crossbreeding, and interspecific hybridization. These are the three different types of outbreeding. Okay. Now we will discuss each one. The first one is called as an outcrossing. Outcrossing, that what we have discussed in the inbreeding. When the inbreeding is continuously performed, then it may lead to an inbreeding depression. Okay, and that can be performed by just one outcrossing. Okay, so you just select a same breed, but they don't have a common ancestor, and the inbreeding depression can be overcome. This is called as an outcrossing. Okay, and this outcrossing method, that is going to be useful. When it is going to be useful? When the breed has below average milk production. Okay, because when there is a continuous inbreeding is done, continuous inbreeding is going to be done. The continuous inbreeding leads to an inbreeding depression. Apart from that, the fertility and productivity of that animal also going to be reduced. And that fertility and the productivity which is going to be reduced, that can be overcome by the outcrossing. Okay, so those animals which have reduced fertility, those animals which has reduced productivity, below average production, such type of animal can be bred by outcrossing, and below average productivity can be improved and higher milk production can be achieved. So this is called as an outcrossing. The second one is called as an crossbreeding. What is a crossbreeding? Here it's a breeding between two different breed. This is called as a crossbreeding. And crossbreeding, here there is a combination of two different breeds. Like suppose this is a one breed, this is a superior male of one breed, this is the superior female of another breed. Both have a different breeds. Okay, they have a different breed. Okay. So this is a superior male, so it has some superior characters. This is another breed that have some superior characters. Now both are going to be mated, and the resultant progeny which is going to be produced, that is the what we call it as hybrid, which is going to be produced. That hybrid have a common characteristic of both, or the superior characteristic of both the one, and this is can be achieved into a crossbreeding. This is achieved into a crossbreeding. Okay, I will give you an example of a crossbreeding. Say here, which is an example of a crossbreeding. Here we have developed the breed, that hybrid which is going to be produced. It is a sheep, it's herded. Okay, this sheep is going to be produced by combination of, I just write down the name, Bikaneri eels and merino rams. Okay, by combination of these two, we have generated this hybrid sheep. Okay, this is called as example of a crossbreeding. And the last one is called as an interspecific hybridization. Here the breeding between two related different species. Here they are not of same breed, but they are of different species. But that species should be related one. Like for an example, you know the example, a mule. Okay, the mole which is going to be produced, okay, mole, it's going to be produced by combination of two different species. One is a horse and the second one is a donkey. The mating between horse and donkey that leads to a resultant one, mole. Here the breeding occurs between the female horse, remember this is compulsory, female horse and the male donkey. The mating between the female horse and male donkey, here the species are different. Horse is different species, donkey is different species, but they are related somewhat, and the mating between them that leads to a generation of a mole. Okay, and this mole have the economical importance because it is going to be used for carrying the load. Okay, so this is called as interspecific hybridization. In short, there are three types of outbreeding: outcrossing, crossbreeding and interspecific hybridization. Okay, in outcrossing, the breeding between the same breed but don't have a common ancestor for 4 to 6 generation. Crossbreeding, it's breeding between two related different breeds. And third one is interspecific hybridization, it's a breeding between two related different species. Okay, outcrossing is going to be used to improve the average quality of a or average quantity of a product. Here second, the outbreeding or crossbreeding that is going to be useful to generate the hybrid which have a superior characters of both the male and female. And interspecific hybridization like mole that is going to be produced to have an economical importance. Okay, so this is the different techniques, inbreeding and the outbreeding. Now apart from that, we also have to discuss how we can perform this inbreeding and the outbreeding. Here we have to do it in a controlled environment. Okay, so what type of a controlled environment which we can prefer to achieve this? When we try to do a breeding between two desired breed or two desired animal, it is not possible that the mating occurs between them, because there are some natural values, there are some kind of a relationship values that do not allow it. So we have to perform this breeding in a controlled environment. Okay, so here we are going to discuss controlled environment techniques which promotes such type of breeding. One of the controlled environment technique is artificial insemination. The one technique is called as artificial insemination. What is an artificial insemination? We have learned in the chapter number 4. The artificial insemination, the sperm is going to be collected from a male and that is going to be used for breeding or fertilizing the female egg. Here the advantage of this artificial insemination is that the sperm which is going to be collected that may be used immediately or it may also going to be used on a later time. When we are going to use it for a later time, we can freeze it, we can store it, even we can also transport it to another place where the female is present. And this is advantage of artificial insemination. But still, the artificial insemination has a less chances of fertilization. The chances of failure are high. Okay, so they have a less chances of fertilization. So we have developed one more technique and this is called as MOET. What it is called as? MOET. What is the full form? MOET means multiple ovulation. E means embryo transfer technology. Okay, what is the MOET? It is multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. We are applying this one. What we are doing this MOET, the animal is going to be injected with a FSH like hormone. Okay, they are injected with FSH like hormone. Okay, so this FSH like hormone, they promote follicular development and they generate more eggs. Usually you know that in every menstrual cycle only one egg is going to be produced, or in the estrous cycle, every estrous cycle only one egg is going to be produced. But here the name itself suggests multiple ovulation. By injecting such kind of a hormone, FSH like hormone, we promote the more egg production. And here instead of 1 egg, they will generate 6 to 8 eggs per cycle. 6 to 8 eggs. As these animals are not primate, they are non-primate, we call it as estrous cycle. Okay, we are not calling the menstrual cycle. Per menstrual cycle, instead of 1 egg, here they produces 6 to 8 eggs. These 6 to 8 eggs, they get fertilized by a sperm and the semen collected by a superior breed. They become fertilized. Now it develops. One cell becomes a 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. When they are in the stage of 16 to 32 cells, they are going to be removed by a non-surgical process. And then they are going to be transferred into another female. That means they are transferred into a surrogate woman where they develop. And now the animal in which we have introduced this FSH like hormone, it is ready for producing another cycle of more eggs. This is called as multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. Okay, so these are the two procedures, artificial insemination and the MOET, which are going to be performed to do a animal breeding. So students, today we have learned the animal breeding, inbreeding, outbreeding. It is very important, and the controlled environmental techniques are also very much important. Okay, so students, keep learning, keep watching, and like and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.